My name is Richard DeBoer. I'm the president of the Calgary Mosquito Aircraft Society, and we're here at the Bomber Command Museum of Canada, August 2015. Here at the Bomber Command Museum, we have our de Havilland Mosquito, which is currently under restoration. This airplane is owned by the City of Calgary, and it's been a part of the city's collection since the late 1960s. In 2007, there was an effort by some people in Calgary to sell the airplane to a collector in England, and some of us thought that was a particularly bad idea, especially as this particular mosquito had a very significant history in Canada. It operated with Spartan Air Services, which was the world's largest post-war civilian operator of the de Havilland Mosquito. They bought 15 airplanes in 1954 from England, brought 10 of them to Canada, used 5 of them for spare parts, and they started doing the first comprehensive high-altitude photo mapping work in Canada. So we thought this airplane had a very deserving place in the history and collections of aviation museums in Canada. So a number of us started a movement to prevent the sale, but beyond that, to see that the airplane was finally restored. That campaign took about 5 years, and in the end the City of Calgary agreed to let us restore the airplanes. They put up half the money, we had to come up with the other half of the money, and we've now had the airplane here for about 3 years. We're very active on the restoration. We've got the fuselage cradled, and the fuselage right now is the focus of all of our restoration efforts. We average between 12 and 18 people working on the airplane every Saturday, and about half that number on Tuesday evenings. Right now, we've begun some of the structural repairs on the fuselage, and we're very fortunate to have found a supplier out of Austria who has made new plywood for us. This is birch plywood for the fuselage, because the Mosquito, of course, is an all-wooden airplane. This one suffered some damage being in storage, being shuffled around, and through some previous attempts to restore the airplane. So within the past few weeks, we've begun to cut out some of the bad wood on the fuselage and replace it with some of the new plywood that we've acquired. In addition to the de Havilland Mosquito, because of the way things unfolded over the past few years with the City of Calgary, we're also restoring a Hawker Hurricane. That airframe is up in Wetaskiwin being restored under a subcontract, so that our volunteer efforts are focused strictly on the de Havilland Mosquito and the engine for the Hawker Hurricane. So that too is here at the Bomber Command Museum. Our volunteers have removed the heads and banks, and what we'll be doing is replacing all of the gaskets and seals, painting the engine, reassembling it, and then shipping it up to Wetaskiwin where it'll be installed on the airframe. The intention for both airplanes is not to fly them, but as they've done with the Lancaster bomber here at the Bomber Command Museum, we'll bring them to a ground running status so that we will be able to start them up and people can see and hear and appreciate the sound and the feeling of when these airplanes come alive, but without risking them in flight. Thank you.